The Scenic Route to Adventure. Listen closely, humans, for I have a tale of travel, missing turns, and a pair of very confused ducks. I am Figaro, the resident feline expert of this household. Usually, my days involve napping on this gray velvet sofa and judging the morning hustle from afar. But last Friday, the hustle was different. The air smelled of excitement and early morning coffee, and I knew something big was afoot. It started at the ungodly hour of 6:45 a.m. While I was busy dreaming of tuna, Gulson was helping Fatima get ready. They were dressed in bright pink shirts that said, "Pixie Dust Wishes." Fatima's smile was wider than a bowl of cream. She was heading to the Pittsburgh Zoo. They gathered her wheelchair and gear, bustling about with the kind of energy that only humans possess before the sun is even fully awake. Into the van they went, leaving State College behind. Levent was at the wheel, looking like a man on a mission. He tapped the GPS, adjusted his glasses, and gave a confident thumbs up. As they pulled out of the driveway, the car filled with singing and chatting. Levent and Fatima were in high spirits, harmonizing to the radio while the miles rolled by. They were making great time, or so they thought. 90 minutes passed in a blur of laughter. But then, the GPS made a peculiar sound. Levent looked down, his brow furrowing. Instead of the industrial skyline of Pittsburgh, the map showed winding roads and mountain air. They weren't in the Steel City, they were deep in the heart of Cumberland. The GPS stayed silent for a moment before chirping its final, confident instruction. "You have arrived at your destination." Levent looked out the windshield. There was no zoo. There were no lions. There was only a quiet, paved road and two very stationary pedestrians named Waddle and Ripple. The ducks stared back at the car, unimpressed by the pink shirts or the schedule. They seemed to be saying, "This is our road, and frankly, we didn't order a van full of tourists." They were over 2 hours away from the zoo, and the 9:10 a.m. group photo was officially a memory. Did they panic? Did they cry? No, because this family knows that a wrong turn is just a detour to a better story. Gulson started to giggle. Then Levent joined in, and soon the whole car was shaking with laughter. They were lost, behind schedule, and being judged by waterfowl, but they were together. Gulson pulled out her phone to break the news to the coordinator, Jamie. Back at the zoo, Jamie was rounding up the Pixie Dust Wishes group. When her phone buzzed with the Scenic Route update, she didn't miss a beat. She knew that magic doesn't always follow a GPS. "No worries," she texted back, moving the group photo to noon. Jamie stood by the zoo entrance, a bright smile on her face as she prepared to welcome the latecomers to their long-awaited adventure. After a 4-hour trek, they finally made it. The zoo was everything they hoped for. Their first stop was the enclosure of a magnificent lion named Tawny. Fatima steered her wheelchair close to the glass, her eyes wide as she came face to face with the king of the jungle. Tawny looked back with a regal gaze, perhaps recognizing a fellow adventurer who also appreciated a good midday rest. The day was a whirlwind of feathers and long necks. They visited the flamingos, who stood like pink statues in the water, and then moved on to see Luis the giraffe. Luis leaned down from the sky, his long lashes fluttering as he investigated his visitors. Fatima looked up in awe, the sun catching the bright pink of her shirt as she soaked in every magical moment of the afternoon. When they finally returned home, exhausted but happy, I was waiting for them on my throne, the couch. They told me all about the ducks, the detour, and the scenic route that turned a simple trip into a legendary family tale. I suppose the moral of the story is, even if you end up in Cumberland with the ducks, as long as you're laughing, you've already arrived. Now, if someone could fetch my treats, I'd appreciate it.